Hey, Frankie Valley, he gets the people going.
That's just too many points.
I was like, hey, Gabe, how's it going? I love your work.
Dudes on the Mall is the podcast to listen to.
Week 11 of Dudes on the Mall, and it's what a weekend it has been. That was Gus singing in his car on the way home Saturday night. Um, Coming
That was
off of a
Gus or that
win.
was Dylan? Who was singing that?
I think I think Gus was saying if he could go back in time and pick a different quarterback, a different defensive coordinator, a different guy to call the plays, I think he was just going through it all.
I mean, what
I
a wave of
hope that's what he
emotions.
was thinking.
I mean, if I was him, I'm singing that the whole way home.
Yeah,
I
but
I, I
does his pride get the best of him though? There's like does the
It
ego
does.
take over and he's just like, okay, you know what? We move forward. We don't look back. We're moving forward now. And it's like, that whole politician answer saying like,
Yeah.
hey, not acknowledging that he made mistakes and just saying, yeah, okay, this is the journey that we're taking now. This is the road we're gonna go down.
That ego is exactly why we're sitting at 4-5 right now. Exactly. The mindset on Gus for me has not changed. The mindset on the team as a whole has completely changed. On Gus, no shot.
well, Saturday night into Sunday morning, as I went to bed and woke up, I sat there just thinking about what song could I use as this intro. I went through a lot of options. There was a lot of good ones, and that's the one I settled on. Um, well, obviously coming off of a huge win, undefeated in space games and in the rain,
We don't
uh,
lose space games.
We
an
don't lose in the rain.
absolute beatdown of Arizona, 56-12. We'll go over stats real quick. We'll hit some game notes, and then we'll jump ahead here a little bit. So, offensively, we hit all the keys to the game basically. Throw for 150. How about almost 300?
Yeah,
Dylan
that
Risk
line was way too low now.
Dylan Risk 20 of 25 for 294, 3 touchdowns. Jacoby Jones, leading receiver, back-to-back 100-yard receiving games with a touchdown. Randy Pittman, 5 grabs, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kobe with another 4 for 58. Getting some other people involved. Kylan Fox with a grab. RJ, absolute dog, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 22 carries for 184 yards. And Risk, kind of mobile. 9 carries for 55 yards, had a long 33-yard kind of little scamper down the middle of the field when it cleared out. Reminded us of a former number 10. Maybe one time removed. Is that the right way to say that? One time
Once
removed
removed.
number 10. Once
Once
removed, yeah.
removed. Yeah.
Um, Other than that, Miles with 7 carries for 31 yards, also got in the end zone, and Jakuri getting us started off with a touchdown run as well. On the Arizona side of the ball, um, I mean, we were cheering for negative rushing yards at one point. Uh, they finished the game with 5 rushing yards. We gave up 256 through the air, 24 of 33. Big keys to the game, UCF. 6 of 9 on third down, 1 of 1 on fourth. So not many third downs. So we're moving the ball effectively and scoring. Arizona 7 of 14 on third down, 0 of 1 on fourth. They had 1 turnover, and we won time of possession with 31 minutes. I mean, I,
What a difference it makes.
who is this team?
Who's the 19 minutes to 31 minutes in 1 week? 2 coach firings and a new quarterback is all it took.
It only took 9 weeks to figure it out. Um, Game notes.
Yeah, we'll get into them real fast. So we'll start off with the obvious. Our new number 10 quarterback, Dylan Risk. Just wow, dude. Just wow. I mean,
Hey,
he
shout out.
looked.
Shout out.
Shout out, shout out. Just a quick round of applause for the kid. Maybe it was the space game magic. I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains, but he looked insane, absolutely insane. I was watching while we were waiting for Josh to get home. I was watching. We put out on Twitter a video of every single one of his pass completions and rushes, just like an all 22, but his highlights. and he just every throw, like the number one thing I noticed about him is just his pocket presence is incredible. There were so many times where the pocket would break down even with just like 3 rushers, and he's working his way into open space while staying in a spot where he can throw the ball rather than just giving up and trying to scramble real fast. So you did say he's mobile. He's mobile enough, right? Like he's a throw first guy that is going to rush for 55 yards when he needs to. So yeah, I mean, all in all, he was just so good. He's just good touch with the ball. He's not Curry trying to bullet pass every single ball in there. He's fitting it into tight windows with the bullet pass when he needs to. He's putting some air under the ball when he's dropping a dot right on Jacoby Jones' chest, 40
How
yards down
about
the
that?
field.
How
How about
about
that
that?
throw? He is the last touchdown of the game to Randy Pittman. Beautifully designed play, just a quick block and release for Randy Pittman. The touch on that throw, he had 2 defenders in his face. Just the touch on that throw was fantastic. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of development. I'm sure there's going to be some growing pains in the future. These next couple of games, and if he remains a starter next season, which he should, in my eyes. But yeah, I mean, just looks so good. And then everybody else on the offense. I mean, when you put up 56 points, everybody's gonna look good. But RJ all the way back, had a day, almost 200 yards, 3 tutties. Dude is gonna be the steal of the NFL draft. That's where I'm at. We were on the Heisman train. He's not going to win the Heisman. That was a little optimistic. He's going to be the steal of the NFL draft. I think because we're such a bad team, he'll get drafted later, but he's going to be a great pickup in a late round of the draft. So, and then where the hell has Jacoby Jones been all year?
Well, just last week he
Not
quit
on
on a
him.
route.
Right. Not on him, on Gus. It's just like, why was this dude not on the field the entire season? His hands are incredible. He's a great route runner, and he's impossible to take down. When I was watching those risk highlights, it was like every time he caught the ball, it took like 4 guys to bring him down to the ground. He's just a bowling ball. Like he's like KJ, but fast and can catch a football. Like just impossible to take down. So,
Not fat.
and not fat. Definitely not fat. So,
Definitely giving some signs of X too. I mean, he's just a more athletic, more mobile,
Yeah.
stronger X. And like that's not to knock on X because he was a
No,
pretty good
yeah.
wide receiver for us.
They're completely different players, but like
But Jacoby just has that
he
explosiveness to
fits
him,
that
you know?
spot well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's just like, because he's not that like big of a dude, like tall, but he's a bulky dude. Like he's strong, you can tell. So, yeah, I mean, and not take away from Kobe. Kobe had a great game. He had 2 insane catches. There was one where like on a deep slant, I think, and Risk threw it pretty low, and it like is a completion like 99 times out of 100. I'm sorry, incompletion 99 times out of 100, and he somehow like tipped the ball up to himself so he could catch it, and then the 50-50 ball was awesome. So, but Jacoby just getting open when he needs to, and Risk finding him is awesome. So, and then yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, it feels like we completely turned a new leaf with Ted Roof out of the way, having Addison, running the ship over there. We had like 4 sacks, I think, at least 3 or 4. Getting pressure on the quarterback, it was great. Secondary looked fine. They didn't pass for anything special. They had a couple, their 14 points came off of honestly a couple of fluke plays. There was the one with Jakari where he was in like man-on-man coverage, 50-50 ball, which I would love to see a stat of like how Jakari does in 50-50 coverage, because I would assume he's not very good because it feels like every week he just gets like bullied at least once a game. So
It's either that or he gets a PI call.
yeah, exactly. So he's not having a great year. But yeah, and I mean we touched on the rushing yards. The only reason they had 5 rushing yards is because they put their backup quarterback in for their last drive and handed the ball off 3 times. So that's the only reason they had 5 rushing yards. That team was just incredible in the trenches. And it looked great. And then, back to the offensive side of the ball, the play calling was competent. It was. I mean, was just call spade a spade. You don't put up 56 points with incompetence, right? It fit Risk perfectly. There's a lot of option plays that allowed him to hang on to the ball, and RPOs, I should say, to be able to either hand it off to RJ Harvey or throw. Well-designed passing plays. We have a passing playbook now. It's crazy. And we talked about the touchdown pass to Jacoby Jones. What a dot by Risk, but I forgot plays like that existed. I'm gonna be honest. Like, when was the last time we saw that? So,
When another guy was wearing number 10.
and another guy was wearing number 10.
So
So-
question. So here's a question I'll pose to you guys. If nothing changes, Ted Roof is still here, Gus is still calling plays. If nothing changes, how many points do we score in that game, and what's the result? Do we win? Do we lose?
I think it's like Cincy all over again.
Yeah. I don't think we put a. I think we win that game, just space game magic. But yeah, it feels like a reverse of the Cincy game where we win like, what was it, 19-13? It feels like that, right? Not
I
a
feel like
high-flying
it's-
offense. Gus is going to be calling bad plays and trying to fit Rizk into his style rather than calling plays for Rizk's style. And then the defense would have given up. I guess that would have been 1 point less, but just
Gotcha.
not looked as good, not getting off the field as fast as they were.
Yeah, it's definitely a game where we don't cover.
No.
We don't cover that game. We win by 3 or something stupid like that.
Yeah. I think that was about it for my game notes, really. Trent Whittemore is the worst punt returner in all of college football. It's baffling that he still does that. I don't know. It's so funny. Like,
They're lining
And
up the punt.
then-
We're saying, just call the fair catch now.
yeah.
Call it
Don't
now.
even
And one
put it
time,
back
and one
there.
time he didn't, and it almost screwed us. I
Yep.
think we scored on the drive anyways, but and then yeah, that's about it. Oh, another play I want to highlight, the one that Rizk almost got hurt on. But it was like really late in the game, and I was like, why the hell are the starters still in the game? I can't remember if it was like a
He's
a
blocking
reverse or
for a
something, but
run.
yeah, no, he was blocking. I can't remember how he got out in front to be the blocker. I think it was a reverse maybe or something, but his block was incredible. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see from my quarterback. Now,
Dog.
with 3 minutes left in the game, I don't know if that's the kind of stuff I want to see from my quarterback, but yeah, I mean, that's winner mentality. Like, that was really good. So, and yeah, last thing is Carl Black is back. That was my last game note. So,
Key to the game.
key to the game.
Key to the game.
Um,
Empanadas were
what a
fire, by
good
the
time.
way. Empanadas were so good. I had
Mm.
chicken empanadas. They were delicious.
nachos were great.
I'm trying to remember, what the heck did I have? I had a hot dog. Because I spilled ketchup on my shorts. Shout out to the rain for washing it away.
It's like it never happened.
Well, coming into Arizona State at 4-5, you guys realize that, I mean, I don't like playing the hypothetical game, but we're literally just like, I'll say I won't say 2 possessions, but just 2 mistakes away from being like 6-3. Like, the difference is so close, it's crazy.
We'll say that.
We're a depth chart setup away from being 7-2.
Yeah.
Like, let's think about the games that we lost for a second, and yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Obviously, we win TCU. Do we win Florida if Dylan Rizk starts?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
I think we blow
Hands
them
down,
out.
Yes. Yeah, we blow them out.
That defense was
Um,
nothing special.
No, it wasn't. Cincinnati, we win
Yes.
with Dylan Rizk. Okay, so that's instead of 4-5. What is that? That's
That's
6-3.
6-3.
Okay.
Colorado's a tough one.
Colorado's a tough one because we got pretty blown out in that game. I said we lose that game anyways, just because the
Our
defense was
defense
so
got
bad.
exposed.
Who are we forgetting? Iowa State.
Iowa State.
We played kind of well. I'll keep that one as a loss on the road. Look, it was tough. 1 point loss. No, 3
We were
point loss.
never winning on that field. We were
No,
never
we were
winning.
never
on it.
winning on that field. And then who am I forgetting?
BYU.
BYU. We're not beating
BYU.
BYU.
And we don't beat BYU. Okay, so 6-3.
Different when you look at it like that, but any other highlights from Saturday?
The atmosphere is great, man. That was the most fun I've had in that stadium in a long time since the
Yeah.
Space game last
It's just
Easily.
space, yeah.
year.
Something about space games, man. It just
Something
hits a
about space
little,
games.
hits a little different.
Well, I'll say my expectations for the Utah game are increasing a little bit.
Through the roof.
8 p.m. kick Friday night. I
roof.
hope people show up. I hope people show up.
We're gonna be tailgating in the dark.
That's gonna be so
can't-
fun.
That is gonna be fun.
We should bring
I can't
party
decide
lights.
if I want Utah to win or lose this weekend. Like, part of me wants them to just like lose. Like, they're playing BYU. Part of me wants them to
Yeah.
get like blown out because then I'll feel better. But
Well, it's a rivalry game.
It's the
it's a
Mormon
rivalry
Bowl.
game. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of want them to be coming into the bounce house with like a good record though, so that's another, good win if we can pull that off.
Well, we're gonna play a quick game. We'll make it short, make it quick. It's called, is this person a professional athlete? Was this person a professional athlete? I'm gonna give you a name, and you're gonna tell me if that person actually was a professional athlete or if I'm just making it up.
Like a football player or just like anything?
Just any sport.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait. What's the okay?
It's
Never mind.
it's either a yes, this is
Yeah,
this is a real
yeah.
person, or a no. Okay.
Okay. I'm assuming this is going somewhere, but I just
Okay.
can't piece it together yet.
Suspicious.
We'll start easy. Coco Crisp.
Yes.
Absolutely, yes.
Baseball player
Okay.
for the A's. Come on.
Okay.
Center fielder.
Uh,
Fielder.
Dick Trickle.
Yes.
That sounds like a yes.
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 Has to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Baseball player.
That's tough.
God Shamgod.
I'm gonna go no. That can't be real.
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
Nobody can name their kid God.
Played basketball at Providence.
Okay, it has to be a nickname though.
American Travel.
Is every single one of these gonna be a yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Nope.
No.
Damn.
Wolfgang Wolf.
Yes. I'm saying yeah.
I'll go no.
This is a soccer player.
Mm.
Bo Scadaboo.
Yeah, he plays for Arizona
Yep.
State.
Okay.
Yep.
Making sure on. Dick Pole.
Yes.
Mm,
Yes. I've seen
yeah.
that name. I've seen that name before.
Yeah. Have
He
you?
played
I
for the
haven't,
Red
but-
Sox.
Okay.
Yes.
That was baseball players too.
Oh, Curly.
All right. Well, I just want to throw a couple of those out. I thought some of those were good. Cam Scadaboo, Arizona
Bo
State.
Scadwood.
It's Cam.
Oh, he goes by Bo though.
No, I just said Bo. Scadaboo is
Oh.
his last name.
Oh, is that what you're trying to do? Okay.
Oh.
I only know his
Um,
last name.
You got the last name. Doubtful to play on Saturday. Arizona State leading
Wait,
running
really?
back. Doubtful to play.
That's actually huge.
It is
'Cause
massive.
I have watched a couple of Arizona State games this year, and he is very good.
On the season, he has literally 1,000 rushing yards. He averages 5.8 yards per carry, 11 touchdowns, has another 27 receptions for 404 yards.
Yeah.
Damn, that's
Doubtful
huge.
to play. So if he does play, he has not practiced yet this week. So that's massive for us coming into this game. Arizona State as a whole, coming into the game, kind of a surprise season. They were supposed to be pretty bad. Sitting at, I believe, 6 wins right now, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
They're 6-2 going into this week, I think.
Yes, they are 6-2. Their quarterback, 1,400 yards in the season, 60% completion, only 11 passing touchdowns, 4 picks. Outside of Scadaboo, they really don't have too many other running backs. Their quarterback is their second leading rusher with 284 yards on 62 carries. So he is mobile. He does get out of the pocket. Receiving wise, kind of a receiver by committee. Tyson, their leading receiver, 39 grabs, 558 yards on the season. Scadaboo, their second leading receiver at 27, and then their tight end would be third at 19. So key to the game, shut down Tyson. Key to the game, Scadaboo doesn't play. Also key to the game, it is a 7 o'clock kickoff here and not noon over there. And it's not Pac-12 after dark. That's big for us.
That is big. Yeah. I was afraid this was going to be like a 9:30, 10 kickoff.
That's what I was thinking we were going to get. But coming in, Arizona State last week with a convincing win over Oklahoma State, 42-21. They did lose to Cincy by 10. They have already beat Utah. They beat Kansas by 4, who's a bad football team. They beat Texas State by 3. I actually watched parts of that game. Texas State is
That was one of the games that I watched of theirs, yeah.
yeah. So they only beat Mississippi State by 7. Mississippi State lost to a MAC school. So they just been kind of skirting by. I think their most convincing win was against Wyoming, who's a really bad team this year at 48-7. But outside of that, they haven't done anything. So I think that this is a good test for us, and I think we match up well coming into this game. It's just gonna be important that Dylan continues from last week and that the defense just shows up. But if Scadaboo is out, that is absolutely massive.
Yeah, I mean, from the like 2 games that I've watched of theirs, my biggest takeaways from their team was one, obviously their entire offense runs through Scadaboo, so if he's doubtful to play, that couldn't be bigger for the program. And the second thing was like their quarterback. He is mobile, but he makes a lot of mistakes.
Mhm.
I've seen him throw several interceptions and just make silly, like brain fart plays. So defense gonna need to step up big and show up like they did this past week.
Yeah, Arizona State really isn't a team that I've seen a lot of games of this year. So this is actually going to be kind of going in blind here. But I think another big thing too is us going on the road and flying across country. This is our one and only cross country trip, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because our other game is at West Virginia. So yeah, that's definitely going to have some impact. And of course, it's drier out there, so there's a couple of environmental things that could affect these Florida boys. But yeah, if big opportunity to kind of prove that all right, we were just kidding, we were just messing around, and now we're going to play legitimate football. But yeah, I mean, if so how do you pronounce it? Scadaboo?
Scadaboo.
Scadaboo. Okay. Yeah, if he's out, I mean, it sounds like that's going to be one of the keys to the game is for him to,
That's absolutely a key to the game.
to not dress.
Well, currently sitting at 3-point dogs. Hasn't been too much line movement, and typically you give the home team three uh more times than not. So really a pick 'em if you're playing on a neutral site. Over under set at 55.5. So it sounds like once again Vegas does not know what to do with Big 12 schools.
They don't know what to do with us, dude.
Yeah, they have no clue.
We've been favorites in every game so far, and then the 1 week where we blow out our team, our previous opponent, we're dogs. It's funny. I don't think we should be favored in this game necessarily. It's just funny how that played out. But
I will put it out there. We've only been underdogs twice this year, and as underdogs, we were 2-0 against the spread.
Hmm.
the game. Who
Arizona State is also 4-0
Who are we
against the
dogs
spread
to?
as the favorite. TCU and
BYU.
Iowa State.
No, we lost to BYU. That was stupid. Iowa State.
Iowa State, yeah.
Okay. So we covered, yeah. Or were we 3.5? No, we were like 13.
No, we were like
13.
14.
Yeah, that's right.
14.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah. So over under wise though, we are 7-2 to the over. So
That is shocking.
yeah. Arizona State 4-4.
That is shocking.
Let me guess. The 2 games are Cincinnati
Florida.
and Florida.
Yep.
The
Spot on.
2 worst football games I think I've ever seen.
The 2 games where the other offense just didn't absolutely blow us out.
The 2 games where I was like, maybe I don't need season tickets. But speaking of which, shout out Terry Mahajia for keeping the prices the same. Not raising.
And-
No, that would have been wild if he was like, "Hey, we're raising our prices."
Well, they were supposed to raise this year. They said they're
Well,
gonna
yeah,
raise
because
every
of
year
the
for like
revenue
3.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, that was very smart of him to not raise prices.
Yeah.
That means somebody's check must have cashed.
Yeah, probably.
Shout out Athletics for letting me keep my young alumni pricing for the 3rd year of me
Oh,
not
now
supposed to
you
have
said
it.
something. Come
Shush,
on.
shush.
Well, I'm still good for one more year because I graduated in 21, so I still have one more
You're
year.
about to
can't-
graduate again.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
I
don't know
can't
if
decide if
counts.
mine's a mistake or not because I technically graduated in December. So
I'm gonna
It
say it's
just-
definitely a mistake because
I
mine's
think
still
so
working.
too because they probably just goes by the grad year, not by.
Hey, how about we all shut up so we can keep our discounts?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Before we move on, shout out to the basketball team. Big win on
Big win.
Monday night.
Huge.
Yeah. What a good atmosphere, dude. That was so much fun
That was awesome.
to be at. And that team, like, did not look great for the majority of the game. So, like, the fact that we were able to string together a win there is huge. And that's only going to get cleaned up going forward. We'll get Mikey back. We'll hopefully get Sellers back. I'm excited about basketball, man.
I saw a stat somewhere that's like I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like the majority of ranked wins in UCF basketball history have come under Johnny Dawkins.
Oh, it was like 75% or something.
Yeah, something crazy like that. And I'm like, that's just a testament to Johnny Dawkins as a coach. I mean, like, he could take, the crap that he's given with and make it into
Yeah.
gold.
The Fire
So,
Johnny Twitter
yeah,
users are just
where they
punching
at?
air right now.
Where are they at? What are they doing? They're complaining about something else that happened yesterday.
Yeah, probably.
Um, Before we move on, two quick stats. UCF leading the Big 12 in yards per play, which is absolutely wild considering we've had two absolute stinker of games on offense. And stat number 2, fun fact, UCF is tied for third in the nation at 267.9 rushing yards per game with your friends out west, Boise State.
Boise.
Boise,
we
let's
were
go,
we were
Boise.
this close to being a Boise State podcast.
We were close.
Broncos, or what we would have these dudes are Broncos or something like that. We would have had to come up with something
We need to
clever.
just like change our name. We should have just like changed our name for Halloween.
As a joke, we all should have moved out there.
Dressed up as a Boise State podcast.
Well, before we do due to the week, I'm gonna make this really quick so it doesn't get drawn out. The CFP top 25 has been released, first rankings of the year. What is your one biggest surprise of a ranking?
Missouri.
Probably Missouri, but let me pull it up real quick because I was watching Maction last night and I didn't watch the show. Yeah, I mean definitely Missouri being ranked is crazy. Like, yeah, they're 6-2, but they've gotten blown out by some good teams on this list. So,
Missouri's
Miami
crazy.
at 4. I mean, I get it. They're 9-0. They're a good team.
They are
honestly.
9-0, but
That
if you
seems-
look at who they've played, it's
Yeah, I mean, if we want to get into like the bracketology of college football, I mean, they did beat Louisville, who just beat Clemson and Death Valley. So, I mean, they've got some okay games on their resume.
I think Indiana needs to be higher too. I think
I
8's a
agree.
little disrespectful.
Indiana does need to be higher.
Indiana
Yeah.
should be higher. Well, there's
I
an
don't think they
elimination.
should be. I don't think they should be higher than Miami. But if you're gonna put a 9-0 Miami at 4, like you should have a 9-0 Indiana at 5 or 6.
Yeah, they should be a little
For
bit
sure.
higher.
Remember when we said that SMU was trash?
Dude, and also, hold on a second. There might be a scenario in here. Actually, wait. I don't think Army will make it up that high. I was gonna say that Boise's starting out at 12. There may be a scenario where two group of 5 teams get into the 12-team playoff. Army needs to make some moves. But
Army needs to win out, and Boise needs a little bit of help up in front of them because if Boise needs to basically get above either the ACC or the Big 12 champion because it's the highest ranked conference champion, it's the 4-time highest. So like,
I think
if BYU loses to Colorado or Iowa State or something in the conference championship, I think there's a path for Boise to get a top 4 seed.
So wait,
like-
who's
no, there
the
is.
ACC
There's
school besides Miami?
Clemson.
Well, no, Clemson. They're already above Clemson. Clemson's 23.
Yeah, but if Clemson wins the ACC, they'll get.
They won't jump
yeah.
that high.
I don't think they'll jump that high. Yeah,
It's
No,
not
they
about
won't jump
rankings
that
though.
high.
If they win the ACC,
that's true. Yeah,
they
they're
get
Power 4
It
champ.
doesn't matter what they're ranked at.
No,
they
that
win
point,
it's the highest. It's the highest ranked. It's literally the 4 highest ranked conference championships. It's not champions. It's not guaranteed to be the Power 4.
That's fair. Yes, but if Clemson wins the ACC, I promise you they're making the 12-team playoff.
They'll
All right,
make
so-
it, but I don't think they'll be top 4.
So what about
No, they
Wazoo?
won't be one of the top 4 ones.
Yeah, so that gives Boise a path.
But yeah, no, it's like the 2 nightmare scenarios for the CFP committee and the awesome scenarios for literally everybody else is either Boise keeps winning and Army somehow squeaks into the top 12 with some help from everybody else, which probably won't happen. The more likely scenario is Boise keeps winning, gets up to maybe like 6 or 7, and then loses the conference championship. Army wins the American. They are the highest group of 5 team. And then as long as Boise stays above 11, they both get in.
That too.
Yeah.
12-team playoff is awesome.
I would pay so
awesome.
much money to
12-team
see that
playoff is
happen,
awesome.
dude. Imagine a first round game between like Boise and the Army. Oh my goodness.
That'd be
Honestly,
awesome.
hear me out. It probably no, that's not going to happen. So I was gonna say
Dude,
if
Boise
either,
might have a home game
that's what I'm
in the
saying.
first ever college football playoff.
If Boise has a home game,
Yeah,
do we go?
I would think
I'm-
about it. I would go.
It's
I would
gonna be cold as
absolutely
hell,
go.
but I would be down
Idaho's
to
calling.
go.
I must
I would
go.
absolutely go. Absolutely.
I got some airline miles I need to use.
I do as well. I also have a honeymoon I have to pay for, but priorities.
But
right?
Idaho's
She'll
calling.
understand. I was
She'll
calling.
understand.
Idaho's calling.
She can come with. That'll be our honeymoon.
We'll go golfing over
Love
there.
turf. There we go. Well, it's gonna be in the
It's gonna be in
No, it'll be
December.
too cold. Never mind.
It'll probably be snowing. It'll probably be 20 degrees.
We'll go
it'll be
snowboarding.
yeah.
We'll go snowboarding.
There we go.
There
we
you go. That I
Um,
can pitch to Darby.
All right, due to the week, we'll move a little quickly because I know I've thrown a couple extra segments in
Yeah.
here.
We do
won?
not have a winner because we recorded on Friday and I didn't get a chance to make the graphic. So
That's fine.
um,
We're back on
so-
schedule.
we're back on schedule. So whoever wants to go,
What was the order last week? Because we won.
that's
think
a
I went-
great question.
I think I went first, right? Because Jacob
Yeah.
won previous week.
Yes, yeah, you had to have gone first.
All right. Well, I'll go first this week. Due to the week, I'm gonna have to bring the mood down a little bit, a little somber. We had a very viral tragedy that occurred in the state of New York. My due to the week is actually going to be Peanut the squirrel. The amount of the eyes that were on this story and the the discourse and the discussion had on all of social media about this squirrel was incredible. Not only it's incredible how it had implications on things going on around the country and all that. Due to the week's got to be Peanut the squirrel. The man is now a martyr in the eyes of some. So hey, pour one out for Peanut the squirrel.
Pour one out. Rest in peace, Peanut.
Rest in peace.
All right, who went second last week?
I think you did.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
So my due to the week, on my honorable mention is going to be Brandon's due to the week. But my due to the week is going to be. I'll start with this. If you're familiar with Dudes on the Mall lore, we talk a lot about umpires in here and how they're always in the way. They're always getting in the way of, making tackles or a route or something like that. Well, this week, I think it's a high school game, dude. I can't figure out if it's like a D3 college or if it's like high school or something. But there's an umpire, and I'm gonna paint the picture. He's got like this little rat tail ponytail going on, big fat guy, just standing in the middle of the field. I sent it on the Dudes on the Mall Twitter, in the DM if you guys want to look at it real quick and watch the video if you haven't seen it. But he's standing there, and the offense, he tries to hit his wide receiver on a slant route, and it gets tipped up, and the umpire catches the ball mid play, and then proceeds to get tackled by the free safety. The defender was like, "I don't care, he's got the ball." So my dude of the week is going to be this umpire who just wants the ball, man. He just wants to play some football.
Dude, the dew on this guy's head. Oh my God, look at that rat tail.
That rat tail's awful. It's
That's
bad.
wild.
That's insanity.
I mean, can we talk about his hands for a second, though? And he tucked it, too.
Hey, some might say that umpires are the greatest defenders on a football field.
Some might.
We could use him. Plays Ethan Barr.
Oof.
My due to the week comes to us from was it Division 2, Division 3 college football?
Maybe, yeah.
One of the two. I'm sure everyone has seen it over the weekend by now, but Saturday, the University of Incarnate Word University. I don't know what the technical is. Incarnate Word football player scored his touchdown, wide receiver. Of course, he's going to go celebrate. Runs into the end zone, and before you know it, is just doing an absolute headstand, pencil dive, upside down, feet vertical, hands by his side, straight up, standing just on his head. And it took over this weekend. After he did it, Amon-Ra St. Brown did it. Someone else did it on Sunday.
Drake London.
Drake London did it.
Yeah.
The Incarnate Word guy did it best by far. But one of the highlights, I think, Amon-Ra St. Brown was doing his, and he's standing there in the penciled position, and the big offensive lineman behind him is just arms wide open with him celebrating, staring straight at his feet while his head's on the ground. So my dude of the week is Incarnate Word receiver.
It was so funny seeing all this weekend, dude. This this tweet that I saved so that I'd have it for my dude of the week. It says, "College football is always the tastemaker. The NFL is just a copycat league." I love that.
Well, on to picks.
On to picks.
Let's do it.
Well, I've decided that my picks are going behind a paywall. So everyone, if you're not paying, please tune out. Josh is going to put a little cover over this, and you can send us a Venmo, and I'll send you my picks.
Brandon talking for the next 5 minutes.
You just turn back time, the whole song for my segment.
Okay, yeah.
Last week I had small card, but still a winner. 4-2. Losers Penn State plus 3.5 and Mississippi State UMass under. Penn State, just don't know what's going on there. Mississippi State and UMass wasn't even close, but the 4 winners, easy. Virginia Tech -4, Vandy plus 7.5 outright winners at Auburn, UNC -2.5 against FSU, and Indiana -7.5 against Michigan State, bringing the season total to 49, 28, and 1.
Jeez.
I hate this. I hate
Totally
this guy, dude. This sucks. Well, so my plays will not be going behind a paywall. Went 4-5 last week, so definitely not profitable, but it's fine. It could have been way worse. So we'll start with the losers. Army -22 with Air Force. Listen, they're not dead to me. I'm just disappointed. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
You're gonna tell me that the Army is dead to you?
No, I didn't say they were dead to me. I said I was disappointed. Don't worry.
That could be worse.
It's coming up later. They're not dead to me. Okay. Penn State +3 against Ohio State. That's on me for thinking that James Franklin could win a big game. Navy -11 against Rice. They're dead to me. Navy's absolutely dead to me now. Hawaii Fresno State over 46.5. They were close on a low line, but Vegas knew that one. And then Pitt +7.5 against SMU. SMU is not who we thought they were. They looked good.
Remember when we said they sucked?
Yeah. What do we know?
I mean, we're just guys, we're just guys out here just talking. Speaking of guys, this guy had a pretty good card last week. Went 5-2,
Right.
and a perfect parlay, almost winner. We had an almost winner.
We'll start the moral victories here.
Right, hey, Texas A&M's dead to me. Absolutely dead to me.
That was bad.
That was really bad.
-3.5. One of the ones I thought was going to be a lock, and they lost 44-20. Like, that's just ridiculous. But all other 3 legs hit. The SMU Pitt over 57, which was, looking at that final
Easy.
score, is crazy low. Indiana -7.5. I mean, they're just a wagon.
Wagon.
And then Washington +1.5. They won outright against USC because USC, like I said last week, is dookie trash. So, moving on to my normal picks, though, 5-2. We'll talk about our losers first. Navy -11. What's going on there? We were
dead to
right.
me.
I thought Rice was supposed to be, terrible. I thought they were supposed to be bad, but I guess not, because Navy made them look good. So Navy -11 out of the window, and then over 47.5 in Ohio State, Penn State. They only scored 33, so therefore those 2 teams are officially dead to me. Maybe not. I don't remember if I took them this week or not. But you see, just a guy, just saying things. We'll talk about the winners here, though. Over 41.5, Iowa, Wisconsin. Iowa hit it by themselves, 42. We're just going to keep riding the train.
Oh, reliable.
Just keep riding the train. This year it's over. Next year it'll be under. And then the year after that, it'll just be nothing but pushes. So 42-10 winners there. But I had the over 41.5. I had Texas Tech +13.5 against Iowa State. What did I say, boys? I said they could win this outright. 23-22. Crazy win against those Cyclone losers over there in the Midwest. UNC -2.5 against FSU. I was tailing Brandon on that one. FSU, once again, Said it before. Dookie trash. Vanderbilt plus 7.5 against Auburn. Absolutely disrespectful. Don't you ever disrespect the Commodores like that. And then Northwestern plus 2.5 against Dookie trash Purdue. I guess we can call last week the Dookie trash card. They won outright against Purdue 26-20. With 5-2, my picks total for the season 38-41. We are coming
Wow.
back.
Dang,
We are
he's coming
crawling.
back.
That's all going to change this week, though, I know, because as soon as I get momentum, it's just going to.
Yeah. I think I forgot my season total. It's 41, 47, and 1. So
You're getting there, too.
We're
You're
getting
getting
there. We're
too.
getting there. We're getting there. Last week didn't
Well,
help, but we're getting there.
I did not go small this week, but I didn't have much that I liked. So I was kind of reaching, but I started reaching a lot. So we're going to hope that my trends here continue. A couple of them
I think you
just
got some
make
games to
sense.
play with.
I got some
You
games
do.
to play with. So maybe this week, either I come back down to earth or I just shoot the gap and we're off and running for the rest of the year.
It's like, have you ever seen the guy on TikTok or Instagram Reels, Vegas Matt? He's like, all right, this one is going to be, we're going to get even or even better. That's what Brandon's doing this week.
Yeah.
Some of these just make sense. Some are trends, so I'll run through them. Army minus 5.5 North Texas. I think this is a blowout winner. Army's going to rebound this week. They're ranked. I have faith in them. I'm hopping on the Josh train. Iowa and UCLA over 44.5.
Good pick. Good pick.
I wanted to take UCLA spread, but I didn't, so that's why I took the over. This one, UAB is a bad football team. UConn is okay. I'm taking UConn minus 6.5 against UAB. I think they can win by a touchdown. Wasn't going to touch this game, but I said I had to, so I'm taking Georgia minus 2.5 over Ole Miss. I think Georgia wins in a close game. This half point really bothers me, but I'm taking Indiana minus 14.5 against Michigan. Don't let me down, guys. Been a wagon all year. I think that this week's a hangover game for South Carolina. I've got Vandy plus 3.5 against South Carolina.
Great pick.
I got burned by it last week, so we're going to try it again. I'm taking Mississippi State and Tennessee under 61. Tennessee's offense has been struggling. I think Mississippi State comes back down to earth this week. Two more plays. This one, I know it's a rivalry game, but it doesn't make sense. I'm taking BYU minus 4 against Utah. And last pick, FSU and Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame can hit this themselves. I have the over at 42.5.
Dude, Brandon and I have the same card, dude.
I have a lot of duplicates with Brandon, too.
Love that. Love that. What did you get the Iowa over at? Just curious.
I got
I'm also hopping
44
on
and
the
a
train.
half.
Okay, that's what I got that too. I thought I heard 43 and I was like, what?
Dude's on the train.
Yeah. So we're starting for me with the duplicates. I have a huge card this week, 10 plays. Starting with the duplicates in Iowa, or sorry, I guess it's in LA. Iowa and UCLA over 44.5. Just hopping on the wagon. We're just gonna ride it with Josh, you know.
This is the
If
week
I'm
we
not for
all
the homies, what
screw it
am
up
I?
for me.
Right. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Other duplicates we have Indiana minus 14.5, hosting Michigan. Yeah, that half point sucks, but Michigan has been a little dookie trash this year. So I like them to keep it rolling. Army minus 5.5 against North Texas is on the road, but I think this is a big bounce back week for them. Vandy plus 3.5 hosting South Carolina.
Good pick.
Maybe a hangover game for South Carolina. Yeah. Just the Commodores just continue to get disrespected, dude, and I'm not here for it. I will be taking them at plus money every single time they are. So, and then my last two duplicates. Did you have the FSU over?
Yeah.
Brandon? Okay, yeah, okay. So, FSU and Notre Dame over 42.5, same as Brandon, and I think that Notre Dame can hit this themselves because FSU is dookie trash. And then last duplicate is BYU minus 4. I know that it's at Utah, but that line just doesn't make sense. It's BYU is one of the best teams in the country, and Utah has been stinking it up recently. So BYU minus 4 there. My non-duplicates, I think that was 5 duplicates, so 5 more plays. I'm going to rock with Miami this week. They're at Georgia Tech. I have been proven wrong by Georgia Tech trying to take them a couple of times this year, so I'm going to flip the script and take Miami minus 11 there. Clemson and Virginia Tech. I'm going to take the over. This feels like a bounce back spot for Clemson, and the over is 53.5. That just feels kind of low to me. I think if Clemson can get somewhere around 40 points, this should hit no problem. Let's see what's next. We're going back to an old reliable here. Jacksonville State -10.
Wow.
They are going to Louisiana Tech this weekend, who's coming off a 9-3 loss against Sam Houston. Give me are they the Gamecocks? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the Gamecocks -10. That's just too easy.
Home opener. Home opener.
Home opener. And then my last play of the week is going to be Fresno State -10.5 at Air Force. I think it's a bounce back spot for Fresno State, and Air Force is one of the worst teams against the spread. Their only cover was Army, so.
Well, got it. Yeah, I got quite a few. I got a few duplicates here. I don't have that big of a card because I'm getting kind of scared. I know scared money don't make money, but I'm doing good, so I want to make sure that the train keeps rolling. I've got 6 plays, and I also have a 4-leg perfect parlay because what else is new? We're going to start with this one. FAU is, like I said, Dookie trash, which I think we all need T-shirts now. Brandon needs, our friends in Boise. Justin needs too many points, and I need Dookie trash put on a shirt. We're going to ride with ECU -7.5. This is the tale of 2 absolutely horrendous football teams, but, one is worse than the other. ECU. It was always the play. Over 44.5 at Iowa UCLA, because why not? Why wouldn't I do that? Because these 2 imbeciles took it and probably going to ruin it for me, but that's okay. Another tale of a team that is supposed to be trash. They were supposed to prove to us that they were trash last week. I'm taking Memphis -9 against Rice. Memphis is at home. They could win this game by 2 touchdowns, and we need, revenge for the Navy. So Memphis -9 there. Ohio State is playing Purdue. They are playing Purdue at home. I think that this is going to be a little bit of an under situation. I'm taking under 53.5. And the only reason I take that is because Purdue might not score at all.
I was going to give you a standing ovation if you took Purdue on the spread.
No, no. I don't even trust that. No. I think this is a 42-0 victory by Ohio State, which is definitely under 53.5 points. So that's the mindset I'm going with there. And then, of course, Army -5.5 against North Texas. That line really doesn't make any sense. And then Vanderbilt +3.5. Vanderbilt's at home. They could win outright against the old South Carolina Gamecocks there. We'll see. But, of course, Vandy +3.5. A little bit of disrespect there for the Commodores. And then moving on to the perfect parlay. 4 legs this week. Leg number 1, the one that doesn't make sense, BYU -4 against Utah. They are just a wagon. Cam Rising's not playing, of course. I feel like 5 years from now, we'll be saying Cam Rising's not playing. But BYU -4. I also have Georgia -2.5 in the perfect parlay against Ole Miss. This one is tricky, but I'm going to take it only specifically because of who they're playing. I'm taking Navy -3 against USF.
Wow.
It's a gamble, but I think this is a bounce back game. And I think that they could win by a touchdown.
The losing leg.
I'm going to be frustrated, but when am I not frustrated? When am I not frustrated with the perfect parlay? And then last leg here, this one is kind of, I want to say it's a throw shit at the wall, see if it sticks, but I firmly believe in this team. I'm taking Syracuse +2 against Boston College. Boston College is at home. They're 4-4. Syracuse, they're kind of a hot and cold situation. I think this week is hot. And the perfect parlay needs something. So Syracuse +2 there. So the 4 legs of the perfect parlay this week, taking it at +1203. BYU -4 against Utah. Georgia -2.5 against Ole Miss. Navy -3 against the University of South Florida, who, by the way, I don't know if you all saw the absolute disrespect at FAU last week when the coaches shook hands. That was just funny to me because that's like the American. But Navy -3 against University of South Florida. And then Syracuse +2 against Boston College.
It's not the Syracuse pick. It's the you said I firmly believe in this team. Did you watch the game against Pitt?
Did I say I firmly believe in this team?
Yeah, you did.
Sometimes I just say shit.
You did, because that's where I was like, what the hell?
Hey,
did you watch them throw 3 pick sixes in the first?
I preface this with saying, I forgot about that. I preface this I remember because I saw. Oh man, this is. We
It's
ride
all
with
right.
it. We
It's all right.
roll
That's
with
going to
it.
be the only leg that wins. And what do we know?
What do we know? Hey, I said it before. Just a guy talking into my
Just a guy.
computer into
Yeah.
a screen.
The only
So
thing that qualifies us is that we have computers.
that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. Sooner or later, AI is going to make dudes on the ball. Like, let's be honest.
We're going to be out of jobs as we get paid to do this.
And that show is going to be infinitely better.
Yeah.
Well, we look to get back to 500 this week on the road at Arizona State. 7 o'clock on ESPN2, 5 for our friends in Boise. Knights +3, Arizona State 3-point favorites, over under set at 55.5. We'll be back next week heading into our final bye before we finish up the season. Go Knights, charge on.
Charge on.
Charge on.